So in the last video, and welcome back to the playground by the way, we made minor changes to this roller, but it's the first video we haven't really done anything, right? We usually do quite a lot of building, but we've made up for it. This has gone berserk now. For an intro of a video, we've done so much, more than we traditionally would have done in an entire episode, because we want to finish this thing, and to do so, we've brought in the big guns. So this is Jake up here. He's part of Monolith, and George, who's also part of Monolith. They build ramps all around the country. They do the majority of Red Bull's skate park projects, ramp building projects. They've built entire skate parks. Now they're in this skate park. Here's George.
Hello,
I've worked
mate.
with George before on Design and Conquer. He's built ramps for me, and he's used to me being quite specific, but then being unspecific when I want it to be different. But this is going to happen really quickly. This has been one day so far, so we've framed out the entire vert wall, and I feel like you guys know now what the plan is. I've explained it. But that vert wall is going to go all the way to the wall. There's an upright section above the quarter pipe, so you could maybe do Rubens or just a foo-fanoos against the wall. The plan is for the ply to go all the way out to the wall, because I don't like that gap, but this section is the best. So that is a 5'2" transition, which is going to be the takeoff. It's got a 9-foot radius. Jake cut that and built it earlier, and it matches the volcano landing exactly. So here it's a takeoff, there it's a landing. They sit in line with each other in the centre of the barn, which is going to be so sick for transfers. I talked about how in the last riding video we couldn't really make the most of the entire space because it's so linear. You can just go back and forward. It's like a yo-yo, but for this place to come alive, we need to be able to ride it diagonally and increase the riding line. So now we'll finally be able to do transfer. I've ummed and ahed about how big to make this, and I was actually going to make it way taller and way more stepped up. I'll explain in a sec what we're going to do, but these guys have talked me down. They've got enough experience to say, don't just make it massive because you won't enjoy it. And there will be a lot of speed. We've ridden quite far up that vert wall, but soon we'll be able to get really far up it because you'll be able to carve over and come at it from all these transfers. George, have you got that drawing?
Yes, I'm just working on it.
I've been trying to decide when to film an intro for this video, and every time I go out to find you, Ben, and come back, Jake's knocked up a wall. Jake, this is the side of the step-up landing bottom, right? Yeah. So that we're going to essentially build a massive wall, or a huge, is it a wall or a platform? Yeah, so a platform. This is going to be the bottom of the landing. We're going to have a 12-foot radius come up here into a curved, curved knuckle, thank you.
Nice.
Finishing my sentences, good. And then we're going to have a 45-degree nose bonk pad. So this is all going to be off the ground, and that's going to run into a vert wall all the way up those steels that hopefully you can transfer down into that vert wall from.
Oh, holy shit.
Here we go.
Whoa, that is so
He
sick.
just knocked that up earlier over a broom.
Lem's it because I'm feeling a bit under the weather.
Really flagged.
Other brands are available.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
How sick's that going to ride?
So this is your 5'2" lip. 5'2" because Matt's Matt and it had to be 5'2", not 5 foot.
I just wanted to be as tall as Ben.
Wow.
Little step up your nose bonky bit. Slight roll over on the top so it's not too sharp, so you can land on it, case a bit, and you're not going to get punctures and stuff like that. Your scooter will be alright, Ben.
Nice.
As well. And then yeah, like Matt said, 12-foot radius landing. So it steps up about 2 feet, and then this here is about 6 inches lower than the lip.
So
we've
there'll
got
be
about
enough.
2.5, 3 feet of landing.
With a big radius though,
with
so you
a
can
big
land
open
tricks.
lander, so you can go pretty deep and still be okay.
What do you think, honestly, of the job so far for professionals to watching? We're amateurs. I have built ramps.
Pretty good for amateurs.
We made blinding errors, didn't we?
Yeah, phoned me a lot, ignored all the advice, thought he knew better.
Usually I've already done it wrong by the time I phoned you.
Yeah, there was a couple of phone calls, right, I've done this, what do you think? Well, if I was going to do it, I would have done it like this. Oh, yeah, well I have already done it, so it's staying actually.
So everything they do differently, not just wear tool belts, wear proper equipment, but this was how quickly did you knock this up? We've never cut wood this professionally.
Well, it's just like 10 minutes, but it's 10 minutes that you would probably get annoyed maybe spending setting it up.
You build your own workbenches, it's sick. They screw that into I don't know what you'd call all this, but they attach that wherever at the length of the wood. Think how many battens we've cut, 500?
And measured each one.
And we measure every
individually.
single one, mark it with a pen.
Yeah.
Set square, draw a straight line. Line up. They put that in once when they measure the first one, and then every single batten you just line up, flush against theirs. It's well clever. And over a day that saves time. Imagine what it does over a month. So this video is going to see the entire skate park be finished as a structure, as a skeleton. It's going to be fully framed out. Then I guess in the next one, you guys are going to hopefully help me ply it and ride it. Can we leave underneath the step up, like can I walk through here and it's done?
Yeah.
We can put stuff under it. That would be sick.
Yeah, well, we'll board the
Speakers.
side, but you can put a wall. We know we can put doors on it. Or whatever.
Yeah, but doors on it, that would be so sick.
What else could you have under there?
Sofa?
Yeah.
It's a trick question. Don't know, it's a
No,
loaded
I'm just
question.
intrigued.
You could have anything under there that fits.
Alright.
Why don't we put something here and build around it like a car?
That would actually be funny. Someone else's car.
Have you ever done that?
We put bits of wood through someone's bike frame that much that you
see.
couldn't move it.
my
You'd end up
God.
altogether. We made a box for someone's phone before because they were on their phone too much. So we like made a box that you could see the phone but you couldn't get out of it.
Wow, the stories go on. Right, we'll show you what we've done so far and then we'll finish this entire place. Build laps. Did you stop that?
Yeah.
Well, that's convenient. No, it really is convenient because just one sachet or scoop of Athletic Greens AG1 first thing in the morning gives you enough vitamins, minerals and more for an entire day. I mean, it can even benefit things like gut health, immune support and brain function for this high-level multitasking. Seriously though, convenience and time saving is everything, and just one 12-gram sachet of AG1 shaken up and mixed with water is such a crucial part of your morning routine and assists you with your key pillars of health. As we go back into this mega build laps, I must say that cramming all of those nutrients into one drink tastes surprisingly delightful. Now, if you want to try this for yourself, hit the link in my description and you'll get 5 free travel packs and a year's supply of vitamin D3K2 with your first purchase. You will not be disappointed. Build laps. This is truly insane. This has all happened in 2 days. That would have definitely taken us twice as long as that. But more importantly, the way it's been built, I can't describe to you how much of a relief it is to watch professionals in action. That's the case of any industry with anything. But this in particular, at my own DIY backyard skate park, seeing the way they build it, and it's, I think we'd have failed at building this section.
I reckon so.
I think their advice has been immense. The fact that that was drawn, like, okay, loads of people were commenting early on in this build, things that I couldn't quite grasp about how you need to build ramps above the floor to have like a framework, and I couldn't fathom how I'd done it wrong, and I learned quite quickly how we had done it wrong. Because this has been built on a different level, this is absolutely how you build ramps. George and Jake showed me, you put a 95mm toe on the bottom of your ramp, or whatever the timber you're using, and then it absolutely meets flush a flat bottom deck that's already been installed. Now if I was going to build this, I wouldn't have built the walls on the floor and stood them up. I'd have struggled with 3 pairs of hands and drills and teeth and chins, you know how we do, to make something. But I'd have put those studs all the way throughout the length of this whole floor, and I'd have probably plied it too before adding on the ramps and the landings on top and the vert wall. They only put 4 studs in, but that's because they knew that those 4 were going to be the only space for flat bottom, because it was drawn, measured, calculated. The amount of wood saved is huge, the amount of time saved is more huge, and look what we've got to show for it. This step up, it's not massive. In my head, we were going to be further up in the ceiling, but for lots of reasons it's not. Firstly, it wouldn't have fitted. That's the benefit of drawing it first. Secondly, Jake and George have built and ridden loads of skate parks, and they said that step up as it is now is probably the maximum size you want to build with the speed. When we jump this volcano or come over the roller and carve over that quarter pipe up through that vert wall, it felt like there's going to be loads of speed, but the aim isn't just to roll up this step up, it's to blast it and trick it. So that's why it's kind of been condensed. It's got a 3.5 foot nose bonk feature, which is at about 45 degrees, or just less I think, which looks perfect for nose bonks. Look how they cut these as well. The top is actually a cut, angled piece of timber, so it's going to be so strong. We also, it's so clever the way they do it. They build ramps on the floor over there, somewhere that's flat, move them, get them in the position, then they build the outside 2 profiles and then infill the battens, as you saw in the build laps. We never did it like that. We actually did it way more long-winded. Battens we also staggered. They do them all in one row by putting screws in on the angle. That's going to make it so much easier when it comes to applying it. I mean, they cut the profiles of the ramps as one set, draw the lines all in one. It's so clever. And come up here, Ben, let's actually look at what we're going to get to ride. This is so rad and so wide, and it's what the whole skate park needed, because now the options are huge. You've got fly out potential, like nose bonk tricks, 180s, 540s. You could land this backwards and fakey up the vert wall, which is also 5 degrees from vertical like that one, but slightly smaller radius, 8 foot radius instead of 9 foot radius. This landing's a 12 foot radius, so it's super open. You've got 1 meter of flat bottom. I hope you can properly trick this. The problem with this barn is there was never ever going to be space for a jump box. And I was a bit depressed about that, because I thought, what's the point in a skate park without a jump box? But by raising the ground, which was my idea, means you don't have to have as long landings and you can use more space. This, we would have struggled to do that.
100%.
That's so smart. Look at the other options too. You've got landing to landing, which just looks so doable.
Yeah.
And also stepping up this way over the roller. Also, you can go, I'd like to think we can go out of that vert wall all the way to that bank. Certainly down there, but I think you can go to the bank. All right, Dad? You could come out the corner and like manual that deck. You could go off the deck into here, then from that landing down. The fact that now we've got these diagonal lines in place make the options in here,
it's nuts.
just open it up to the world.
It's like the lockdown spaghetti junction, but made out of ply.
But made in such a professional manner by 2 ramp builders who have now gone home, but they're coming back next week when my plywood arrives to help ply this, and then we're going to ride it.
Ply ground.
The ply ground. It's used a lot of wood.
Worth it though. It's insane.
Yeah, they're clever clogs. Look what we've built. There's one more thing to show you. Excuse the mess, but look at this. That is factory, isn't it? How steezy is that?
So sick.
We got an email a little while back from Ben at Sign Makers UK. He's literally made us a sign. His craft is unreal. It's so sick. Just sent him the measurements. He came up with his team, fitted that all the way from Kent. That has made the workshop look like 100 times more pro. It's like There must be like an emotional response to having your company lit up like that. It's so sick. And with the playground nearly finished and the playground on the horizon with the weather improving, we're doing a sale of 40% off our entire playground range at healthfare.com. Like these long sleeves, short sleeve tees. You've just got to go online and use the discount code PLAYGROUND. How sick is that?
Unreal.
Next time we're applying it, we're riding it. Legends.